Hello everybody, Mr. Parrott here with your rundown of what we're doing today on Monday, the 18th, and what we're also going to be doing on Wednesday, October 20th, because it's a two-day lab, so I'm just going to explain both parts of the lab to you here today, so that if you're missing either one of the days, you'll know where to get the stuff from. So what we're doing in today's activity, let me bring up Schoology here. Is that when you go into the folder, there are bell ringers, so make sure first and foremost that you do our bell ringers for this week. Remember, they're in this week's folder. Right up top here, bell ringers. There's two of them. Since today is, Monday, I've only got the Monday one activated. The one for Wednesday will be activated on Wednesday. What you'll need is the folder for today, and you'll need both of these things that are in here. I'm going to publish the second thing too. The first one is your actual assignment, which is the Cheeseburger Lab itself. So when you get in there and open it up, we're going to do that here. Let's open that up. There it is, opened. I'm going to open up the other one here so that you can see this point of reference that we can have with it. When you open it up, here's our Cheeseburger Lab. What we're doing is that I've taken 4 different parts of a cheeseburger and kind of broken them down into this lovely little slurry stuff, and we've been testing them for what molecules that they've possessed. Let me go run and grab one of them so you can see the slurry mixture. I am still here. I'm just running to go and get something. I'll grab the grossest one just so you can see the grossest one here. It's been sitting out for a little bit, so it's been kind of liquefied here. But like here, for example, is the liquefied hamburger with the actual chunks at the bottom, and then it's kind of separated because I haven't stirred it in a little bit. But that is what we'd be testing, is liquefied versions of each ingredient. The 4 ingredients that we have today would be the bun, the hamburger, the cheese, and then we added a tomato in there as a 4th thing. Even if you don't like tomatoes, maybe you like ketchup, it'll have similar results in there to it. So kind of the four elements of a good old classic cheeseburger there. The first thing that you're going to do, though, is that you're going to make a couple of hypotheses about what you think is going to test positive for sugars, fats, and proteins. So how this works is that, because it's been a while since we've done a hypothesis, we've got our if, then, because statement. If sugars are tested for in a cheeseburger, if fats are tested for in a cheeseburger, if proteins are tested for in a cheeseburger. I got it set up for you in each one of the 3 slides. You need to fill out the then and the because, which is the easier of the 2 parts probably. For your then statement, you're going to, and I have the kind of example right up here, what ingredient is going to test positive? When we say it tests positive, that means it has that molecule. So out of the hamburger, the bun, the cheese, and the tomato, which one of those 4 would you think has sugar in it? That's what your then is going to say. So then the bun will have sugar. Then the burger will have sugar. Because, and then you give whatever reasoning that you have. Why do you think that? What about the bun or the hamburger or the tomato or whatever would say that there is carbohydrates or sugars involved in it? You're going to do the same thing for fats and the same thing for proteins. I want you to do that before we do our results because the results are going to tell you what is in on there. So I want you to do that first. And then we got the actual test that we performed in class. Unfortunately, because you are not here for our class stuff, you're going to just need the results. So on Monday, we did 1 and 2. And then on Wednesday, we're doing 3 and 4. And then at the end, you're going to give a little CER statement. So what you're going to be doing is looking at the results, which on Schoology, when you click on Absent Cheeseburger Results Lab, it will give you the results of each one of the labs. So we got the results from exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 3, and exercise number 4 for you to use on there. And you can just copy and paste this information into your document, because this is what they were getting in class, and would be the information that you would be using. So you just literally transfer that stuff over into your document. I would make sure to read through the test so that you know what things were represented as, and that you get a kind of a feel of what we did in class. Like, there was involving some chemicals and heating things up, so there's a little bit of that stuff going on in there. So to make the results make more sense, you'll need to read the results to see why there's color changes and why that matters and all that kind of good stuff with it. So read through the instructions for each one of the labs, even though you don't get to perform them, just so that you know what happened. And they're not too long. Each one of the experiments was like 3 or 4 steps. Oh, none of them even went 4. All of them were 3 or less steps to how we actually do things. So that's what you're doing for the results. When you're done, you're going to do a CER about one of the ingredients. You're going to pick one of the ingredients, whether it be the hamburger, the bun, the tomato, or the cheese. For your claim, you're going to make claims of what molecules is in that food. So does it have sugar? Does it have fat? Does it have protein? Does it have the starches in there? It's okay that this might not match your hypothesis, because remember, your hypothesis was a prediction. Now we're clearly stating things at the end of the experiment. So you'll write out your claim. Your evidence is what you've collected about it. What tested positive? That would be what you would use as evidence. You could phrase it like, in test number 1 for testing for sugars, it turned orange color, so that meant it had a lot of sugar present. That's what you would do for the evidence, because that's what you found in the experiment. And then remember, the reasoning is tying together the claim with the evidence. This ingredient has this molecule because evidence number 1 and evidence number 2. One thing that I am stressing when it comes to the CER on Wednesday is to make sure not to use the first person. So don't add any I's or we's or me's in there at all. It should be fully just the facts, because it happened. You have the results, or we have the results for you, and then you need to interpret the information. It is stuff that did happen in class. Those colors did end up changing on there. So that is what we need to do. There's a lot there. I had to get some more oxygen into my brain. And make sure at the very top you tell me what ingredient that you're using, so I can verify that those were actually your results. If you're just missing one day, you can use just that 1 day of information. If you're missing both days, you'll have to use the entire document. If you have any questions, email me up. I'll be glad to answer them for you. I will, even though you're off of school Thursday and Friday this week, I'm still here, so I'll still be able to email you back if you do have questions. So, with that being said, I hope you're doing well. I hope to see you back here next week for the start of other things. But with that being said, have a good day, and if you need any assistance with anything, make sure that you email me. Bye.